Welcome back to the In the Clinic podcast with Rob. So again, my name is Rob Sumner, owner of Sumner Specialized Physical Therapy and Specialized Strength. I really do these videos and these podcasts because there are a ton of people out there that are in pain, and I really don't want you to be one of them. So I'm really looking just to improve your life in any way. So let's get firing away today. So really what we're getting into today is chronotype. And this is an interesting topic because for me personally, I have had ups and downs with productivity when it comes to night or morning, day, other. And I've slowly learned for myself and my own productivity over the years is that I do best in the morning. It's really my greatest time to be productive and to get things done is really in the morning. I feel the most fresh. I feel the mind is the most sharp. I feel there's no distraction. I love the sun rising. I'm a morning guy. Now, I can't say that I've always been a morning guy. I know that when I was in high school, it was a little different, based on the lifestyle I was living. But for the last, 10, 15 years, I find that in my business, when I'm trying to really push to get things done, build new products, build new systems, and really think about the planning and the development of where we're going with the physical therapy or the personal training business, it's some of my best hours. And for me personally, I've found that it's undistracted time. So when I need the most brain power to be used for a certain period of time, that's the time I save it for. It's usually uninterrupted. So what's led me to this and this development of chronotype is because I found that I used to stay up later. So I used to, stay up with the family. We'd do our whole nighttime routine. And when everybody was locked down, ready to go to bed, once they fell asleep, then I'd get up and I would do a lot of my tasks. And whether it be my documentation tasks, whether it be work-related duties or other. And sometimes I'd stay up till, 11, 12, 1, 2 in the morning to try and complete these. And I found that my efficiency was super low. I would find myself all of a sudden snapping out of dozing off, and I look at my computer and all there are J's across the screen because my brain turned off. I dozed off, and my keys being held down on the J. So what I found too is that the quality of the work that I was doing at night wasn't there because my brain wasn't as fresh. It was harder to get it done. And so eventually I found out that my efficiency was really low. And it would take me a lot of time just to complete a lot of these tasks. I just have to power through it. So my quality wasn't there. The efficiency wasn't there. So I switched and started doing it in the mornings. So I would get up earlier based on the amount of time that I needed. And it has changed the game for me to where now I can get up in the mornings and attack all these things that I need to. And it completely shrinks my time. I don't need nearly as much time because my brain's more fresh and I've rested it. So overall, the point that I'm getting at is that chronotype can dictate your own level of efficiency. So when we're looking at chronotype, we're really talking about sleep cycles. We're really talking about your circadian rhythm. What's best for you? So they've done different research and they've evaluated people, and they've really broken them down into 4 main types. And what I mean by main is they give them an animal that correlates with that chronotype, and it helps to explain some patterns that you typically see from those individuals. And from these patterns, we can usually extrapolate some level of predictive behavior that helps you be more efficient with what you're doing during the day. So I'll give you an example. The one main chronotype is the bear. So the bear is actually the most common, and this is an individual that wakes when the sun comes up, and typically when the sun goes down is when they're getting tired and ready to go to bed. So they follow the sun. They tend to be more productive in that midday as far as right before lunch, so 10 to 12. But after lunch, they tend to get a little bit of a dip. So they tend to get sluggish and they tend to get tired. The lion is your early riser. So I would be a lion. So a lion is an individual that when they wake up in the morning, they're not groggy. They don't have to hit their snoozer, 5 times in a row. They tend to wake up easily and feel fresh. These are individuals that don't mind working out in the mornings because they're ready to go. And lions tend to not enjoy the evening because they get really tired. 9, 10 o'clock at night, they're starting to fade. Their most productive time is that early morning to get things done. So we have the bear, we have the lion, then we have the wolf. Now the wolf is the opposite of the lion. So the wolf is truly the night owl in a way. So that's an individual that gets most of their energy spike and their bursts from 5 or 6 at night until midnight. So that's the person where a lion's like, geez, I'm exhausted, I'm ready to go to bed. And the wolf is saying, hey, let's reorganize this cabinet. Come on, come help me. And it's 10 o'clock at night. So the wolf builds energy off that evening, but they're also the individual that tends to sleep in. So from 10 to 11, they like to sleep later in the morning. They're not really a good individual to just wake up and get going. It takes them a while for them to slowly process, slowly break out of their sleep before they really get going. The last individual would be the dolphin. And the dolphin is really an individual that doesn't follow a typical pattern. And what they mean by that is the dolphin has irregular sleep patterns. So individuals that typically will not always sleep soundly, they're individuals that the slightest noise in the house or a little bit of light makes them very sensitive and they wake up. They don't always get to a deep, deep sleep. And the dolphin tends to have different sleep cycles as far as sometimes they'll stay up later, sometimes they'll wake up earlier. They're irregular in their pattern. So the purpose of really kind of going over chronotype today is when we're talking about efficiency, we're talking about productivity, and we're talking about energy. That's something that pertains to everybody. So if I said you can have more energy and you can be more productive throughout your day, would you want that? And I would say the majority of the people would say absolutely. So when we're looking at chronotype, it helps you to truly look at the efficiency that you have during the day. And I'll give you an example. If you're a wolf and you tend to burn the night, the midnight oil, and you're an individual that your most productive time is in the evening, but we also know that your least productive time is in the morning. It's hard for you to wake. Well, to have a job that requires that you're up at 5, 6 in the morning can be very challenging. So if you're truly your own circadian rhythm wants to have you sleep longer and later, it's more of a challenge for you to get up early consistently and fight against that. So what would happen? If you were constantly fighting against yourself and against your own rhythm, well, then what you're going to get is fatigue. You're going to get that energy is not there. You're going to get the slumps during the day. You're going to feel like, why don't I have any energy? And it could be because you're fighting against your own natural sleep cycle as a wolf. Now, vice versa, you have an individual that's a lion. If you're a lion, you're an individual that wants to get up early. Now, picture having a job that requires you to work nights and late. That would be a conflict in yourself. You'd constantly be sleep deprived and feel sluggish throughout the day. So by finding your own chronotype, it helps you mirror the important tasks throughout the day. So I give you an example. If being a lion, when is my most productive time? The morning. So my hardest tasks and the most challenging things that I want to get done are done first in the morning. If I wait till after 12 o'clock, it's more of a challenge. What time is it now? Well, it's 2:30 in the afternoon. And I'm doing this because this doesn't require a ton of brain power for me to really lock down and get done. I get to talk into a microphone and tell you about chronotype. So this is my task I choose to do now because it allows me to be more efficient. Now, when I'm building programs and we're deciding how we want to add more value to our training facility and those type of things, and what's the procedure going to look like, and how do we guarantee the exact result for that individual every single time, that takes a lot of energy mentally because now we're looking at building things that I haven't built before. Is it going to work? Is it going to be the most helpful? Is it going to be the most efficient? And then putting pen to paper is where it matters. So those things I save more in the morning. So the key is finding out what is the most pressing things for you mentally to do, and then put that in your most productive time. So for that wolf, it'll be in the afternoon. It'll be in the evening. For the lion, it'll be in the morning. For the bear, it could be a couple hours after waking up, right before lunch, possibly. What we also can look is the inversion of that, which is when is your least productive time? When do you not want to do a bunch of stuff? When it's more downtime for you? When are you greatest to procrastinate? So for a bear, right after lunch, don't put any heavy tasks in there, because that's going to be a challenge for you. For a lion, don't put them later in the day. That's your least productive time. Same thing for a wolf. Don't do it in the early morning. But the other way you can look at it is how it matters to your fitness. So if you're looking at your fitness overall, a lion should work out in the mornings. They have the most energy. They can go from workout, which they wake up easily. They're bright, they're alert, they're ready to go. They can work out and then jump right into their hardest tasks. What does that mean? That means now they're getting the endorphin kick from the workout, doubled with their alertness in the morning. Now your hardest stuff is easier to get done. You're more efficient, more productive. Wolf, what about for that individual? That person should work out more in the afternoon to the evening. Build upon that peak time that you're going to get from 5 to midnight. Then you can put some of your hardest brain power tasks in there. For the bear's going to want to wake up and journal. They're going to want to write in their journal and allow a slower wake up, because they don't wake up as easy. And they're going to slowly progress. They can get thoughts that they have for the day. They can journal them into their notebook as they're progressing. Then as they advance in their day a little bit, then they can think about working out or some of their hardest tasks. So overall, understanding your chronotype is important. And my purpose for today is to just shed light on the fact that chronotype could be a factor in your energy levels, in your production, and in your efficiency. So there's a ton of information. There's a ton of research that you can find on the internet, different books. And there's also a screen that you can do. There's a quiz that you can do. It goes through about 30 questions that pertain to you individually, and it breaks it down and tells you exactly what your chronotype is going to be in the end. So I'll put that link as well into the information here in our podcast in the intro. And if you're watching this on YouTube, then we'll put it in the description as well for each one of those, and you can look at the link and test yourself. Again, there's no affiliation that I have with a site that I'm going to put on there. It's just when I was researching different quizzes, I did this one. I liked it. I felt it was the most pertinent. This individual also goes through and writes a book on chronotype and how it plays a factor. I've not read the book, but just from the quiz alone, I did like the quiz. So overall, if you're struggling with energy levels, you're struggling with efficiency, you're struggling with productivity, you find that you're consistently procrastinating to get things done, chronotype could be the ticket for you. So, all right, team, thanks for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the segment on chronotype. Go find your own chronotype. Are you a bear? Are you a lion? Are you a dolphin? Are you a wolf? Who knows? But hopefully that helps. All right, till I see you next time. Thanks, team.